Okay, this is a bit different from usual because it calls for responses, and it would be really nice if you all respond. I've actually done it before and it's worked, so can we try it? Brothers and sisters, I speak to you today in the Church of the Holy Undecided. I want to hear you say, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear you say, no.
No.
We are gathered here together, sister side by side with brother, to proclaim we are agnostic, don't know one way or the other. In this we won't be shaken, though hard the winds may blow. In doubt we are united, and we cry, we do not know. Brothers and sisters, I want to hear you say, I want to hear you say, there are two sides to this, you know.
No.
We hold no fear of persecution. It pains us not to be derided, as we stand here in the church of the Holy Undecided. Oh, my brothers and my sisters, I know I speak for you when I say we know for certain that we haven't got a clue. Brothers and sisters, I want to hear you say, it's beyond my comprehension.
It's beyond my comprehension.
I want to hear you say, it's a bugger, innit?
It's a bugger, innit?
I believe that some believe that only their beliefs are true. Do I believe what they believe? I don't believe I do. Oh, my friends, be ye contented, for ignorance is bliss. We stand four square behind our message, and we don't know what it is. Brothers and sisters, I want to hear you say, I am not a sheep.
I am not a sheep.
I am
A sheep.
I want to hear you say, I will not mindlessly do everything I am told.
I
will
will
mindlessly do
everything
everything
I
I
am
am
told.
We know that we don't know, so let our vision still be pure. We are agnostic fundamentalists. We're fundamentally unsure. Peace, my sisters and my brothers. The agnostic does not smite. We are tolerant of others. There's a chance they may be right. Brothers and sisters, I want to hear you say, death to nobody whatsoever.
Except Matt Hancock.
I want to hear you say, the infidel might have a good point, you know.
Might have a good point,
you know. I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so.
want you all to clap now. Les Barker, thank you.
Not sure.
Great, Pelagie, and unorthodox start to the evening. Great. Mick, it's over to you now, followed by Steve Suffet. You may or may not choose Mick to wipe the smile off our faces. It's entirely up to you.
Right. I spent a couple of days last week in Royal Wootton Bassett, which is where my brother-in-law lives, and he was in the RAF until he retired. And of course, Royal Wootton Bassett was where the soldiers and airmen and so on were brought back from the Afghan war, the ones that didn't make it. And it reminded me of this song, which is basically an old song redone for that particular conflict. son John is tall and slim, and he had a leg for every limb. Now he's got no legs at all. He ran a race with a cannonball. He ran a race with a cannonball. Jack the lad went off to war. Away bye-bye as he ran out the door. Bye-bye John, I'll see you when you're back from Iraq and Afghanistan. Back from Iraq and the Taliban. I sat down each day by the shore for the space of 7 long years or more. A big transport come across the sky. I shouted aloud, would you clear away? Shouted aloud, would you clear away? I shouted aloud to the captain, said he are here with the living or back with the dead. Have you any news of my boy John? Is the boy living or is he gone? Is the boy living or is he gone? Then up steps John and he's got no legs, got carbon fibre blades instead. She smiled and she kissed him over and all. Bet you run faster than you did before. Bet you run faster than you did before. Oh, were you deaf or were you blind when you left your own 2 legs behind? Or was it from walking on the sea? Shrunk your legs right down to the knee. Shrunk your 2 legs down to the knee. No, I wasn't deaf and I wasn't blind when I left the own 2 legs behind. A thundering landmine jumped in the way. Wore these legs right down to the knee. Wore these 2 legs down to the knee. I was tall and I was slim and I had a leg for every limb. Chicken hawks come and knocking at the door. Call Britannia, called for war. Call Britannia, called for war. Yes, call Britannia, called for war. With all them chicken hawks stood at the door. Cluster bombs will cut you down like corn. Better stay away from the harvest home. Better stay away from the harvest home. Better stay away from the harvest home. Better stay away from the harvest home.
Nice one, Mick. Thanks for that. Good kind of level of threat conveyed, I think. Some kind of thing. Okay, Steve Suffet is our next singer, followed by Riggy Rackin.
My girl, don't you lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines where the sun never shines, and I shivered the whole night through. In the pines where the sun never shines, and I shivered when the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun never shines, not even my mama knows. Your daddy was a railroad man died 1.5 miles from town. His head was found by the firebox door, and his body it never was found. You caused me to weep, and you caused me to moan, and you caused me such misery. And the last words that I heard you say were, please don't weep after me. In the pines where the sun never shines, and I shivered when the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun never shines, not even my mama knows. The longest train that I ever did see ran around John Brown's coal mine. The headlight passed at 6 o'clock, and the caboose went by at 9. I wish to the Lord that I'd never been born, or I died when I was young. I'd never have seen your pretty young face, nor heard your lying tongue. In the pines where the sun never shines, and I shivered when the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun never shines, not even my mama knows. One more time. In the pines where the sun never shines, and I shivered when the cold wind blows. In the pines where the sun never shines, not even my mama knows. In the Pines, also known as My Girl, also known as Black Girl, traditional appellation.
Similar level of creepiness and threat to Mick's song, I think. So well done. Okay, Riggy is next, followed by Clive Woolf, please.
Okay, one of the nice things that's been happening, if you notice, is that during the pandemic we find old friends. There was another Bellamy besides Peter, named Paul from Grimsby in Yorkshire, and I got together with him, and he thanked me for recording this song he wrote the melody for in, I don't know, 1972 or something like that. So this is an Alfred Noyes find from Noyes from Folk Songs of the Upper Thames. Nice drinking song. The silvery moon that shines so bright, I swear with reason as my teacher, that if my midnight glass runs right, there's time to drink another pitcher. It's not yet day, it's not yet day. Why should we forsake good liquor until the sunbeams around us play? Let's joke and push about the picture. They say that we must work all day, then sleep all night till awake much richer. But what is all the world thus say, compared to mirth, my friends, and picture? It's not yet day, it's not yet day. Why should we forsake good liquor, until the sunbeams round us play? Let's joke and push about the pitcher. I dearly love the hardy man, no sniggering milksot Jimmy Twitcher, that loves a lass and loves the glass, and loudly calls for another pitcher. It's not yet day, it's not yet day. Why should we forsake good liquor, until the sunbeams round us play? Let's joke and push about the pitcher. Though one may boast a handsome wife, and yet strange vagaries may bewitch her, unvexed I lead the cheerful life, and loudly call for another pitcher. It's not yet day, it's not yet day. Why should we forsake good liquor, until the sunbeams around us play? Let's joke and push about the pitcher. It's not yet day, it's not yet day. Why should we forsake good liquor, until the sunbeams around us play? Let's joke and push about the pitcher. Thank you.
Brilliant, Riggy.
You made a great case for drinking all night, Riggy. Okay, Clive, it's over to you now, and then Steve Andisaw, please.
Right. I thought I'd sing a song from the olden days. This is that old that I used to play guitar with this one. So it's very, very old. I learnt it in 71. And that's 1971 for those of you who want to know. Right. And it's very English, this version, although there are Americans. Sorry, it hasn't got a chorus. As I walked out one morning down by a riverside, I overheard a fair maid. The tears fell from her eyes. It is a dark and stormy night. These words I heard her say, my love is on the raging seas, bound for America. John Riley is my true love's name. He lives down by the sea. He is as fine a young man as e'er my eyes did see. My father, he's got riches great, but Riley, he is poor, being 'cause I love my sailor dear, they will not me endure. My mother took me by the hand, and these words to me did say, if you are fond of Riley, you must leave this country, for your father said he'd take his life without and that without delay. So either you must go abroad or shun his company. Oh, mother dear, don't be severe, for where I send my love, my very heart lies in his breast, as constant as a dove. Oh, daughter dear, I'm not severe. Here is £1,000, send Riley to America to purchase you some ground. And when she'd got the money, to Riley she did run. This very night to take your life, my father's charged his gun. Here is £1,000 in gold, my mother gives to you. Sail off, Martin, to America, and I shall find out you. And in about 12 months after, she was walking by the sea, when Riley, he came back again to take his love away. Well, the ship got wrecked, all hands were lost. Her father, griefful, saw her, found Riley drowned in her arms and washed upon the shore. He found a letter in her breast, and it was wrote in blood. How cruel was my father that thought to shoot my love. And this might be a warning to all your mates again. Don't never send the one you love unto America. End.
Great stuff, Clive.
Good story, Clive. Thank you. Okay, Steve and his saw now, possibly with his saw, possibly not, followed by Tim Radford. That doesn't look like a saw. It's something
No,
else.
it's not a saw. It's my ukulele and my cheapo Chinese pan flute. I have to get back a bit from the speaker for this, otherwise it tends to overwhelm it a bit. Here's my favourite song about drinking my favourite tipple, which is tea. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. When my job is over every day, I sit beside the fire, that's all that I desire, and just to help me pass the time away, the old kitchen kettle keeps singing the song for me. And as long as the kettle keeps singing the song, I'm happy as can be. I have my ups, I have my downs, but I'll keep smiling while the old world frowns, 'cause the old kitchen kettle keeps singing the song for me. baby, baby, not. But could you keep singing in a place so hot? Thank you.
Yay!
Totally wonderful.
Great stuff.
Thanks, Steve. We can always rely on you for something a bit different, and that did the trick tonight. Okay, over now to Tim Radford and then David Kidman. And as I have mentioned, David Kidman, he'll be very happy to get the details of everybody's songs in the chat as we go through the evening. If you have not already put them in and have sung, then please do so. Okay, over to Tim.
Okay, I have to follow Steve, which is not an easy task, but I will try. Most people on this group, I'm sure, will remember and know the song "I Live Not Where I Love," collected only twice in the tradition, once famously from Robert Barrett in Pillow-town in Dorset, but not, and also on Broadside. It also exists on Broadside. I don't know whether many people know that there is also a Broadside, which is the answer to "I Live Not Where I Love," which is called "Now I'm Living Where I Love," and it was printed by Pitts at 7 Dials. And I'm going to try and sing it, as I've only found it last week. Please bear with me if I don't get it completely right. So. You virgins fair, pray give attention to these lines which I have penned. My joys are more than I can mention. Cupid now has proved my friend. Long his arrows made me anguished, whilst I wandered like a dove through the groves of my dear Thomas, but now I'm living where I love. Like echo through the glens and mountains, long I wandered for his sake. Every moment years was counted, while each tender heart did ache. But gracious heaven heard my petition and sent down pleasures from above. Hope has settled now my station, but now I'm living where I love. These eyes that were sad with sorrow now look cheerful, bright and gay, and those cheeks long pale and hollow now excel the rose in May. Fear not, maids that are deserted, for kind heaven can remove the hardest heart with hell invested, as he did my own true love. My prattling babies with love inspire every moment of the day. And whilst they're seated round the fire, each tuneful lip drives cares away. At night the gentle robes of Morpheus crown me with joy and my dove, while in each other's arms are sporting. My joys are now I'm where I love. There we are.
Well done.
Oh, wonderful.
Reworking of an old favourite. That was lovely. Okay, over now to Graeme Baldwin and then Sheila Miller, please. Graeme?
I thought it
was David Kidman, actually, but there you go.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I ticked you off, David. and I've probably ticked you off now, and therefore I assume, yeah, I'm losing it. I'm losing
David,
it.
you
So
go
it is. I beg your pardon. It is David Kidman,
That's
followed
okay.
by Graeme. Yeah.
You can't have ticked me off. I haven't done anything wrong yet.
The next pun.
Well, you might.
That was not a pun. Right. Okay. Well, the reason. Oh dear. Yeah. Yes. The reason for my backdrop is a song which takes place in June. So I'm going to move aside slightly. There you go. Now as I strayed along at the close of the day, about the beginning of June, 'twas there in the glade I espied a fair maid, as she sang her lament to the moon. Roll along, silvery moon, guides the traveller on his way, while the nightingale sings a sweet tune. For there is no time so sweet as when true lovers meet by the bright silvery light of the moon. Now my love, he was young and a bold fisherman. His arms were brawny and strong, and his voice, it was clear and a pleasure to hear, when singing an old shanty song. But his boat, it went down, and my true love had found a grave 'neath the deep angry sea, never more to return, and it's for him I'll mourn till the day that the clay covers me. So roll along, silvery moon, guides the traveller on his way, whilst the nightingale sings a sweet tune. For there is no time so sweet as when true lovers meet by the bright silvery light of the moon. Now he bought me a ring, we appointed the day, for 'twas married we were to be soon. Oh, but alas, to my grief, he now lies in the deep, cut down like a rose in full bloom. So roll along, silvery moon, guides the traveller on his way, whilst the nightingale sings a sweet tune. For there is no time so sweet as when true lovers meet by the bright silvery light of the moon. For there is no time so sweet as when true lovers meet by the bright silvery light of the moon. From the singing of Packy Byrne.
You on way?
Nice one, Dave.
Singing by moonlight. I like it. I like it, David. Thank you. Okay, so now it's Graeme Baldwin. I've managed to sort myself out and get back on track with the list. So it's Graeme, followed by Sheila Miller.
Well, hello everybody, and following on from David's June song, here's another June song. This one from Yorkshire, from Graham Miles. I'm sure many of you will know this. It's a great song and one to relish in the evenings of summer. So here we go. Over yon hill now, the sun's coming down, and the elm tree's long shadow creeps over the ground. The farmer, he's finished mowing his grass, and it's time for a young man to go court his lass in an evening in summer, in an evening in summer, an evening in summer, late on in June. Let's go to the Crown now for to swallow a jar. Let's put the world right as we prop up the bar. Let's crack our sides laughing at a thumping good tale. Let's sing a loud chorus in praise of strong ale. In an evening in summer, in an evening in summer, an evening in summer, late on in June. Let's talk about cricket and that knock by young Squires. What price by next season he'll be capped for the Shire. But we won't forget Jonesy, who won us the match when he ran from the covers to take that fine catch. In an evening in summer, in an evening in summer, in an evening in summer, late on in June. The old clock sneaked round now, and the landlords call time, and we'll make our way homeward, or at least we will try. We'll all go the same way, so together we'll keep, and we'll all help each other to stay on our feet. In an evening in summer, in an evening in summer, an evening in summer, late on in June. Yes, an evening in summer, an evening in summer, an evening in summer, late on in June. Thank you.
That's good.
Oh, that's what a sweet song, Graeme. Thank you. I really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed the fact that Scotland are now winning 1-1. Well, no, 1-1. That's a win for Scotland so far, anyway. So we're now about to take a short journey to the cellar upstairs, because we'll have Sheila Miller followed by Bob Wakeling.
More calendrical consistency, sort of. I seem to be on a battle kick. Last time I was here I did a song about Waterloo, arguably a song about two imperialistic armies fighting each other. This is, I don't suppose there is a single month in the year which doesn't present you with the anniversary of some battle or other, but this is another one whose anniversary is in 2 days' time. A song about the defeat of an invading army. A rare enough thing, I suppose. I've kind of half known this song for 3 or 4 decades, but I've only actually sung it 3 or 4 times in that time, so I'm afraid I'm going to read the words. It does have a chorus. The only thing I need to tell you is that to shoot the craw means to run away. One of you at least will know that already. 2 of you, I suppose. And it's by McGinn. It has literally been 7 years since I last sang this, because that was an actual anniversary. Sorry, I take that out or I might choke on it. Oh, I don't know where to pitch this. In 1314, the 24th of June, King Eddie said we're ready now to steal the stone of Scone. He took his biggest army, but discovered he'd back the... Sorry, can I start this again? As I said, I've hardly ever sung this. In 1314, the 24th of June, King Eddie said we're ready for to steal the stone of Scone. He took his biggest army, but discovered he'd back to Deuce. In Bannockburn he found that he was up against the Bruce. We raised our pipes and the English kept a coming, but they weren't quite so happy when we gave the pipes a blow. We struck once more, they began a running. Ready, steady, Eddie, go, it's time to shoot the craw. Well, we had a bowl of porridge and a wee bit pinch of salt. We drank a drop of whiskey and it was the finest malt. Each had on a tammy and we wore the filly bags. Eddie was in terror when he saw the hairy legs. We raised our pipes and the English kept a coming, but they weren't quite so happy when we gave the pipes a blow. We struck once more and they began a running. Ready, steady, Eddie, go, it's time to shoot the craw. Poor King Edward nearly had a fit when he saw his cavalry had landed in a pit. His men looked up from the trap the Bruce had laid, and they were shocked to find out what... His men looked up from the trap the Bruce had built, and they were shocked to find out what was worn beneath the kilt. We raised our pipes and the English kept a coming, but they weren't quite so happy when we gave the pipes a blow. We struck once more, they began a running. Ready, steady, Eddie, go, it's time to shoot the craw. He sent for the archers, a group of country folk. They heard and they bird, what a funny way they spoke. With those archers Eddie had a go, but they didn't last as long as the ones on radio. We raised our pipes and the English kept a coming, but they weren't quite so happy when we gave the pipes a blow. We struck once more and they began a running. Ready, steady, Eddie, go, it's time to shoot the craw. On the fastest horse you ever saw, Eddie went racing for... Sorry, I'm making a mess of this. On the fastest horse you ever saw, Eddie he went racing o'er the border and the war. He was fond of Scotland, but he never did return. He didn't like the welcome he'd received at Bannockburn. We raised our pipes and the English kept a-coming, but they weren't quite so happy when we gave the pipes a blow. We struck once more and they began a-running. Ready, steady, Eddie, go, it's time to shoot the crow. Matt McGinn, sorry, that was all over the place.
Oh. At least the tune was traditional.
Well, I'm not surprised you had to read the word, Sheila, given you only sung that 3 or 4 times in decades. That's a great song. Loved it. Okay. A reminder. Actually, we still have a few spaces left on the list. So if you have the inclination to sing this evening and have not already indicated, please put your little virtual hand up, and I will put you on the list. Okay, Bob Wakeling is next, followed by Tara. Can't hear you, Bob.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, can hear you now.
Ah, right. Okay, I was going to sing a ballad, but Ruth said she heard on the radio that we are now bombarding Syria from aircraft carriers. So I thought I'd better do Perfumes of Arabia by Maggie, Holland. I was driving on a journey when I turned the radio on, hoping to hear a story or some old familiar song. But all I heard were voices telling me of a foreign war. They were counting scuds and patriots. They were telling me the score. I heard the cry of the airman as his plane fell from the sky. Heard the man in the foxhole scream when he saw his brother die. Heard the last sad song of the dolphin as he drowned in a filthy sea. I heard the mother weep aloud for her dead child on her knee. They say the sands are full of corpses and the wells are full of blood. Snows from the distant mountains leave many the tiny shroud. The clouds are black as thunder, but they do not hold sweet rain. There is only death and poison to fall to earth again. Well, I couldn't bear to hear it, so I turned the volume down. Drove into a garage in some little Hampshire town. Filled up my car as I took the air in this green and pleasant land. And then I recognized the smell of blood upon my hands. I've tried sandalwood and roses. I've tried eau de cologne as well. Calvin Klein, Chanel No. 5, it wouldn't ease the smell. I've tried in every body shop I could find throughout the land. But the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Thank you.
It's lovely, Bob, and very sad. Beautifully sung.
Powerful song, Bob. Thank you. Although not great news that it came with. Okay, over now to Tara, and then could we hear from Martin Nail, please?
Hi, guys. I'm always a bit late with the actuality. I was going to sing Summaries Are Coming In. I'm going to put that later on because tonight I'd like to sing one for... well, you'll know when I sing it, for Jerry Milne, because this is when he sang a lot. It might have been sung since and I just missed it somehow. but I'm going to sing Green and Yellow. I don't know if you've already heard the joke for Lord Randall, my son, where you go, the short version. Where have you been all the day, Randall, my son? Where have you been all the day, my pretty one? Oh, I didn't go anywhere, Mum. I stayed at home and played Minecraft. Anyway, I'm actually going to sing Green and Yellow, so here we go. Because Jerry used to sing this a lot. Okay. Where have you been all the day, Henry, my son? Where have you been all the day, my pretty one? In the woods, mother, in the woods, mother. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. I'm going to go down a bit. What did you do when you was out all day in those woods, Henry, my son? What did you do all day when you was out in those woods, my pretty one? I ate, dear mother. I ate, dear mother. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. And what did you eat when you was out in the woods all day, Henry, my son? And what did you eat when you was out all day in the woods, my pretty one? Eels, dear mother. Eels, dear mother. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. What colour were those eels that you ate when you was out in the woods, Henry, my son? What colour were those eels that you ate when you was out in the woods, my pretty one? Green and yellow. Green and yellow. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. Those eels what you ate when you was out in the woods were snakes, Henry, my son. Those eels what you ate when you was out in the woods were snakes, my pretty one. Oh, dear mother. Oh, dear mother. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. What colour flowers do you want on your grave, Henry, my son? What colour flowers do you want on your grave, my pretty one? Green and yellow, green and yellow. Oh, mother, be quick, as I'm going to be sick and lay me down to die. Thank you. Here's to you, Jerry.
Nice to have another tribute to Jerry. I never heard him singing that one, so I'm really glad you brought that this evening. What a great song. Okay, time now for Martin Nail, followed by Marty Stock.
Right, in a spirit of a calendrical consistency, here's a song that mentions midsummer, so which is possibly on Thursday, depending on when you think midsummer is. It, however, does not demonstrate botanical consistency. As I walked out one midsummer's morning, for to view the fields and to take the air, it was down by the banks of the sweet primroses. There I beheld a most lovely fair. With 3 long steps I stepped up to her, not knowing me as she passed me by. I stepped up to her, intending to view her. She appeared to me most like some virgin bride. I said, fair maid, where are you going? And what's the occasion for all your grief? I will make you as happy as any lady, if you will grant to me some small relief. She said, stand off, you are deceitful. You are deceitful and a false young man. It is you that is causing my poor heart to wander. And to speak of comfort is all in vain. I will go down to some lone valley, where no man on earth shall let me find, where the pretty little small birds do tune their voices, and every moment blows the blusterous wind. So come all young men that go a-courting, pray you pay attention unto what I say. There is many a cold and a blustery morning turns out to be a most sunshiny day.
Well, I'm not sure that that is strictly true anymore about the many cold and blustery mornings turning out to be sunshiny days, but you never know. Maybe someday soon again. Okay, over now to, and thank you, Martin. I always enjoy hearing that one. Over now to Marty Stock, followed by Maggie and Pete.
Hello, thank you. Let me know if there's any problem with the sound here. This is a song about fishing in the Northwest. Astoria is a town at the mouth of the Columbia River, and Willapa Bay is a great oystering bay right nearby. So, well, it's not very far to Astoria's bar, but a very long journey it can be. You can start at the mouth of the mighty Blue River and end at the bottom of the sea. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in our grandfather's day, when they rowed all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. When the tide is rough, so very, very rough, so rough that you cannot stand, it'll drive the little fish right into the nets and the boats right into the sand. But the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when they rowed all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. In the mist and rain, the labor and the pain, we know what the fishing here is worth. It is worth more than gold as we suck 'em from the hold. It's worth all the treasures of the earth. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in my grandfather's day, when we rowed all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. Well, it's not very far to Astoria's bar, but a very long journey it can be. You can start at the mouth of a mighty blue river and end at the bottom of the sea. And the river still shines and shimmers in the light as it did in our grandfather's day, when they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay. When they rode all night and fished in the morning and lived in Willapa Bay.
Great song, Martin.
I like it, Marty. I like it very much. Thank you. Okay, over now to Maggie and Pete, and then could we have one from John White, please?
Yeah, oh, we liked it too. Untraditional song, but based on a story from the Brothers Grimm of the Bremen Town musicians. And I didn't used to like the story much as a child, but the story of these superannuated animals who are about to be given the chop and decide they're going to have a retirement career as musicians speaks to my condition increasingly. So we're used to doing this with our three friends, so we're having to reclaim it between two of us. Go on, you start.
Once upon a time they loved me, and I raised the sun each morn. I pleased the pens and pleased the hens and earned my share of corn, till the boss said, we don't need you, we can't afford to feed you. Time's a hard old cockerel and you will have to go. You did us proud, you sang real loud, but now you've got the droop. You so lay your head down on this block, you're going in the soup. Aye, there's still a fight or two in this old cock-a-doodle-doo. So I knocked him flat, shattered his hat, and I went on the road. I'm on my way to Bremen, I'm on my way to Bremen town. I'm on my way to Bremen town, and there I'll strut my star.
Once upon a time they loved me and they stroked my perfect fur. I chased their rats and warmed their laps and gave them my best purr. Till the boss said, we don't need you, we can't afford to feed you. Times are hard, old pussycat, and you will have to go. I've slaughtered mice for many years, I've more than played my part. And they don't know my inner life devoted to my art. But I didn't like his tone, and when I saw that sack and stone, I left my claw marks up his arm, and I went on the road. We're on our way to Bremen, we're on our way to Bremen town. We're on our way to Bremen town, and there we'll strut our stuff.
Once upon a time they loved me, and they let me guard the keep. I scared away intruders, and I herded all the sheep, till the boss said, we don't need you, we can't afford to feed you. Time's a hard old doggy, and you will have to go. Come on, don't make this hard on me, I'll try and make it quick. It hurts me more than it hurts you, and I thought, you make me sick. Those shiny pups and new trainees learned everything they know from me. So I bit the hand that led me, and I went on the road.
We're on our way to Bremen, we're on our way to Bremen town. We're on our way to Bremen town, and there we'll strut our stuff. Once upon a time they loved me and they let me turn the mill. I gave them rides and carried loads, all with the free goodwill, till the boss said, we don't need you, we can't afford to feed you. Times are hard, old donkey, and you will have to go. The knacker's on his way, old boy, at least you still can serve. For dog meat, bones, and shoe leather, is that what I deserve? I know our highest master will judge that mean old bastard, but I kicked him where he'll notice now, and I went on the road. We're on our way to Bremen, we're on our way to Bremen town. We're on our way to Bremen town, and there we'll strut our stuff. We've no babies and no masters, and now we've found a voice. We'll find some fellow travellers, and we'll sing and rejoice. It may have been a long life, but we've not had enough. We're on our way to Bremen town, and there we'll strut our stuff. We're on our way to Bremen, we're on our way to Bremen town. We're on our way to Bremen town, and there we'll strut our stuff.
Hooray for the animals. Yeah, great stuff. Okay, John White is next, please, and then Hazel Richings.
Yes. Am I on camera okay, Amanda?
You are, John. You're
Great,
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is an old favourite, and it's been a favourite ever since, I think, 1864, when it was first sung at Collins Music Hall on Islington Green. And I think it's been a favourite for so long because it's got such a beautifully tuneful chorus, which I hope you'll all join in all our distant places. It is, of course, Pretty Polly Perkins of Paddington Green. I'm a broken-hearted milkman, in grief I'm arrayed, all through keeping of the company of a young serving maid, who lived on board wages, the earth to keep clean, in a gentleman's family round Paddington Green. She was as beautiful as a butterfly and as proud as a queen, was pretty little Polly Perkins of Paddington Green. Her eyes, they were as black as the pips of a pear, no rose in the garden with her cheeks could compare, and her hair hung down in ringlets so beautiful and long. I thought that she would love me, but I found I was wrong. She was as beautiful as a butterfly and as proud as a queen, was pretty little Polly Perkins of Paddington Green. When I asked her for to marry me, she said, "Oh, what stuff," and told me to chuck it, 'cause she'd had quite enough of me nonsense. At the same time, I had been very kind, but to marry of a milkman, she didn't feel inclined. She said the man that has me must have silver and gold, a carriage to ride in and be handsome and bold. His hair must be curly as any watch spring, and his whiskers as big as a brush for clothing. She was as beautiful as the butterfly and as proud as a queen, was pretty little Polly Perkins of Paddington Green. In 6 months she married, did this hard-hearted girl, but it was not a viscount, nor it was not a earl, nor yet it was a baronet, but a mite or two was. 'Twas the bow-legged conductor of a twopenny bus. She was as beautiful as a butterfly and as proud as a queen, was pretty little Polly Perkins of Paddington Green. Polly Perkins.
Yay!
Lovely stuff, John. Yeah, and everybody was singing along and swaying along, so that was great. Thank you. Okay, over now to Hazel for something completely different, I'm sure. And after Hazel, let's hear from Jim Lucas, please.
Thank you. I'm just going to quote something. Oh, David, don't disappear. Mr. Kidman, don't go. You wrote, "Thanks to Linda for granting me permission to sing this a long time ago. I really hope I do it justice. It's the most requested song out of those I sing." This is Linda Kelly's Spare Hand. I dream of distant waters, though my fishing days are done, and for 30 years I've worked the factory floor. Each night as I lay dreaming, I can still hear howling gales as we haul our nets and bring our fish aboard. But the owners called us casual, though I'd 20 years at sea, and I swear I worked as hard as any can. And although they cut the quotas and they took my job away, in my heart I know I'm still a fisherman. It's a dim and distant memory now and fading with the past, like a photograph that's not seen light nor day. But you can't forget the hunger, and you don't forget the pain or the misery that doesn't go away. 'Cause when the fishing ended and the men in suits demand you'd better find another job, and this time on dry land, but don't expect redundancy or to have a helping hand. Don't they know that I was born a fisherman? And the TV and the tabloids got bored and went away, and they told us that they'd bigger fish to fry. And the men in suits informed us it's a fight you cannot win, so give up, lads, and let the fishing die. But they were sure to pay the owners, was their influence that great, that they wouldn't have them suffer by their hand. It's a trickle-down economy, they will give you what they can, but you'd best forget you were a fisherman. And the children sit and listen to the tales their fathers tell, but it doesn't seem a world they'll ever know. Of the catches and the conflict and the misery and hell and the battlegrounds of Iceland long ago. For their father is a carpenter or the driver of a van, or a lagger or a miner, but he does the best he can. Yet when he goes to sleep at night, he'll be bringing in the cran, 'cause you'll always live and die a fisherman. Yes, when he goes to sleep at night, he'll be bringing in the cran, 'cause you'll always live and die a fisherman.
Fantastic song.
Beautifully sung.
Just got carried away reading the old notes from 2006 when we'd recorded that CD. So anyway.
Lovely stuff, Hazel. Thank you. Okay, Jim Lucas now, followed by Shannon Phil, please. Are you with us, Jim? Because if you are, we're not hearing you.
Okay, I've been having problems with my internet.
Either you've just muted yourself or you still are.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Keep going.
Okay, I'm going to cut my video and see if I can get through a song without everything going haywire. Oh. Tis of a pretty female, as you will understand, her mind being bent on rambling unto some foreign land. She dressed herself in sailor's clothes, or so it would appear, and she signed with our captain to serve him for a year. The captain's wife, she being on board, she seemed in great joy, for to think her husband had engaged such a handsome cabin boy, and many's the time she'd slip him a kiss, and she would have liked to toy, but 'twas the captain found out the secret of the handsome cabin boy. It was her cheeks, they were like roses, and her hair hung all in curls. The sailors often smiled and said, he looks just like a girl. But eating of the captain's biscuit, her colour it did destroy, and the waist did swell on pretty Nell, the handsome cabin boy. It was through the Bay of Biscay our gallant ship did plough, when down among the sailors there came a hell of a flurry and row. It tumbled the sailors from out of their hammocks, their sleep it did destroy. Terrible moaning and a cursing from the handsome cabin boy. Oh, doctor, dearest doctor, the cabin boy did cry, my time is come, I am undone, and I must surely die. The doctor came a-running and a-smiling at the fun, for to think that a sailor lad could have a daughter or a son. Now when the sailors heard the news, they all did stand and stare. The child belonged to them, they solemnly did swear. The captain's wife, she says to him, my dear, I wish you joy, for 'twas either you or I has betrayed the handsome cabin boy. Now come all you jovial sailormen, and drink success to trade, and likewise to the cabin boy who was neither man nor maid. Here's hoping the wars don't rise again, our soldiers to destroy, and here's hoping for a jolly lot more like the handsome cabin boy. Oh, I might mention that I have heard others do it with a very different tune, but this is the way I learned it about 40 years ago.
Sounds right.
That's certainly the tune I recognise, Jim. You had some interruptions from your broadband, but it came over very nicely nevertheless. I have to say, eating the captain's biscuit is one of the best euphemisms I have ever come across. Okay, over now to Jean and Phil. Then could we have Mick and Nora to close the first half, please?
Thank you, Amanda. Song from the musical. Picking All the Big Ones Out was featured a few weeks back, but as far as we can trace, there's only one verse and one chorus to the song, and it's sometimes linked with another song, I Can't Get My Winkle Out, but we've thought that the innuendo in that was a little bit too much for an audience such as Sharps. But as John knows, we did add some extra verses to Picking All the Big Ones Out, drawn from our own domestic experience. Last Sunday afternoon for tea, I fancied a luxury. So off I went to old Mother Twinkle's, bought myself a pennyworth of winkles, took 'em home, put on my plate as happy as can be. But my old woman and her 7 kids and all their family were picking all the big ones out, picking all the big ones out. Ever seen a fish face covered in wrinkles? When I saw my pennyworth of winkles, all the big ones gone, it made me rave and shout. 'Cause my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the big ones out. I picked up a custard pie, and then did I let fly. It missed me wife by a mile and a half, but it hit the baby. Blimey, what a laugh, splattered across the wall, and everywhere about. But my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the big ones out. Oh, picking all the big ones out, picking all the big ones out. Ever seen a fish face covered in wrinkles? When I saw my pennyworth of winkles, all the big ones gone, it made me rave and shout. 'Cause my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the big ones out. Me missus grabbed the broom, came charging across the room. Before I had but a chance to run, she fetched me a wallop across my elbow. Blimey, did it hurt? It made me rave and shout. Got my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the big ones out. Oh, picking all the big ones out, picking all the big ones out. Ever seen a fish face covered in wrinkles? When I saw my pennyworth of winkles, all the big ones gone, it made me rave and shout. 'Cause my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the big ones out. The neighbours called the police, who said this row must cease. I'll have you marching double quick straight down the road to the local nick. Now behave yourselves, no more than ought of floods. Then Sergeant Brown and his country bill started picking all the big ones out. Oh, picking all the big ones out. Last chance, picking all the big ones out. Ever seen a fish face covered in wrinkles? When I saw my pennyworth of winkles, all the big ones gone, it made me rave and shout. 'Cause my old woman and her 7 kids are picking all the bigger ones out.
Great stuff.
Lots of fun and a great chorus. Thank you both. Okay, so now it's over to Mick and Nora, or possibly just Nora. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not
It's
keeping
Mick and
track.
Nora.
All right, yeah. Okay, over to you now. And we will then have a short break, parish notices, and a short break. So take it away.
Thank you very much. We're going to do a well-known song that was made famous by Christy Moore, but written by Barney Rush, somebody called Barney Rush. It's called Nancy Spain, and Nancy Spain was actually a journalist and well-known writer, but it's not about her. Barney Rush just liked the name, apparently. So we've been told recently.
Of all the stars that ever shone, not one does twinkle like your pale blue eyes. Like golden corn at harvest time, your hair sailing in my boat, the wind gently blows and fills my sails. Your warm scented breath is everywhere. Daylight peeping through the curtain of the passing night time is your smile. The sun in the sky is like your laugh. Come back to me, Nancy. Linger left these shores, I know no peace nor joy. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of your beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you've gone if you return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? On the day in spring, when snow starts to melt and streams to flow, with the birds I'll sing to you a song. In the wild I'll wander down by bluebell groves where wildflowers grow, and I'll hope that lovely Nancy will return. No matter where I wander, I'm still haunted by your name. The portrait of your beauty stays the same. Standing by the ocean, wondering where you've gone if you return again. Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain? Where is the ring I gave to Nancy Spain?
Thank you.